Have you ever stopped to think about that box in your kitchen? The one that takes a frozen brick of lasagna and turns it into a bubbling, cheesy delight in minutes? It seems like some kind of culinary witchcraft, doesn't it? You push a button, a light comes on, something hums, and voila, dinner is served. But I'm here to tell you it's not magic. It's science, and it's some of the most fascinating, practical science you can find in your own home. In this little exploration, we're going to pull back the curtain on this everyday appliance. We're going to demystify the process, and I promise to use simple words. No advanced physics degrees required. My goal here is to arm you with knowledge. Because when you understand how a tool works, you can use it better. Let's get started on exposing the secrets of the microwave oven. It's time to get cooking with science. First things first, let's define our terms. A microwave oven uses, you guessed it, microwaves. But what are they? Well, they're a type of energy, a form of electromagnetic wave to be precise. Think of them as invisible waves of light. They're all part of something called the electromagnetic spectrum, just different flavors of the same fundamental energy. Radio waves that bring music to your car, visible light that lets you see, X-rays a doctor might use to check for a broken bone. They're all around us all the time from natural and man-made sources. The specific microwaves used in your oven are tuned to a very particular frequency. Most home microwave ovens operate at 2.45 gigahertz. Now that number might sound technical, but all it means is that these waves oscillate, or wiggle up and down, 2.45 billion times every single second. This specific frequency wasn't chosen by accident. It was selected because it's exceptionally good at one particular job, getting water molecules excited. And since most of the food we eat contains a significant amount of water, this frequency is the perfect choice for heating things up quickly and efficiently from the inside. Now, it's important to understand that these microwaves are a form of non-ionizing radiation. That word, radiation, tends to make people nervous, but it simply means energy that radiates or travels outward from a source. Non-ionizing means these waves don't have enough power to knock electrons off atoms. They can't alter the chemical structure of your food or make it radioactive. All they do is transfer energy, causing molecules to vibrate and generate heat. It's a physical process, not a chemical one. They are much less powerful than ionizing radiation like X-rays or gamma rays. So, in a nutshell, your microwave oven is a device that generates a specific invisible light wave. This wave is perfectly tuned to interact with the water-fat sugars. It's a targeted energy delivery system. Instead of heating the air around the food like a conventional oven, it sends energy directly into the food itself. This direct approach is why it's so incredibly fast. It's not magic, it's just very clever physics put to work for the noble cause of reheating your leftovers without having to fire up the big oven. We're about to meet the part that makes the waves, the magnetron. So where do these magical food-heating microwaves come from? They don't just appear out of thin air. They are generated by a remarkable piece of engineering tucked away inside the oven's casing. This component is the heart of the entire operation, and it's called a magnetron. Think of it as a high-powered whistle for microwaves. It takes electricity from the wall outlet through a fascinating process involving magnets and a vacuum tube and converts that electrical energy into high-frequency electromagnetic waves, our 2.45 gigahertz microwaves, to be exact. It's a powerful and efficient wave-making engine. Once the magnetron creates these waves, they need a place to go and a job to do. They are channeled through a guide, aptly named a waveguide, which directs them into the main cooking area, the cavity. The cavity is the metal box you put your food into. The interior walls of this cavity are made of metal for a very important reason. Metal reflects microwaves. The waves bounce around inside the box like super bouncy balls in a steel room. This ricocheting action ensures the waves hit the food from all directions. The door of your microwave is a critical part of this system. You'll notice it has a glass window with an embedded metal mesh screen. The holes in this mesh are carefully sized. They are small enough to trap microwaves. But the holes are much larger than visible light wavelengths, so you can still see inside. It's a clever bit of engineering that keeps you safe and lets you watch for that dreaded soup explosion. This entire system, Magnetron waveguide cavity is designed to flood the cooking chamber with a dense field of microwave energy. The energy has nowhere to go but into whatever you've placed inside. Running a microwave empty is a very bad idea. With no food or water to absorb the energy, the waves are reabsorbed by the magnetron. That can overheat and permanently damage the magnetron, the heart of your machine. Always make sure there's something inside to soak up those waves. Now we get to the really good part. How waves heat your food. How do these bouncing waves actually heat your food? The secret lies with a very common molecule: water. Water molecules, H2O, are what we call polar. This means that, like a tiny magnet, they have a positive end and a negative end. When your food is just sitting there, these little water molecules are oriented in every which way. But the moment you hit that start button, everything changes. The microwaves flooding the oven's cavity create a rapidly oscillating electric field. It flips back and forth, 2.45 billion times per second. That rapidly changing field has a profound effect on those polar water molecules. Like tiny compass needles trying to follow a wildly spinning magnet, the molecules try to align. As the field flips, they flip. Back and forth, billions of times a second. That frantic spinning and jostling creates friction as the molecules rub against each other. And what does friction create? Heat. This intense molecular level mosh pit is what cooks your food. It's not heat from the outside working its way in. It's heat generated from within the food itself. While water is the primary target, it's not the only molecule that gets in on the action. Fat molecules are also polar, though less so than water. Sugar molecules are also polar, though less so than water. If you've ever microwaved a bowl of chili molten hot ring icy cold center, you've experienced one of the technology's biggest quirks: uneven heating. This isn't a flaw in your specific oven. It's an inherent characteristic of how waves behave in an enclosed space. As the microwaves bounce around the metal cavity, they interfere with each other. In some places, the waves add up, creating areas of intense energy called hotspots. In other places, they cancel each other out, creating cold spots with very little energy. This pattern of hot and cold spots is called a standing wave pattern. This is precisely why your microwave oven has a turntable. The purpose of that rotating plate is to move your food through these various hot and cold spots. By constantly changing the position of the food, the turntable helps to average out the energy exposure. Without a turntable, any part of your food that happens to be sitting in a cold spot would remain stubbornly unheated. Some more advanced microwaves have a rotating stirrer fan hidden in the top of the cavity, which scatters the waves to create a more uniform energy field. Even with a turntable, perfect heating is rarely achieved. The shape and density of the food itself play a huge role. Microwaves can only penetrate so far into dense food, typically about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. For thick items, microwaves heat the outer layers, but that heat must then travel to the very center via conduction, the same slow process used by a conventional oven. This is why instructions often tell you to let food stand for a few minutes after microwaving. This resting time allows the heat to finish migrating to the center and even out. To combat this, you can become a proactive microwave chef. Stirring your food halfway through the cooking cycle is the single best thing you can do to promote even heating, as it manually redistributes the hot and cold portions. Another great trick is to arrange your food in a ring shape on the plate, leaving the center empty. Since the center of the turntable moves the least, it's often a cooler zone. By arranging food like broccoli florets or chicken nuggets in a donut shape, you expose more surface area to the more energetic parts of the oven, leading to a much more evenly cooked meal. Next up, key safety and myth busting. If this is useful, tap like. It helps more people learn the science behind great cooking. Grab that coffee and keep going. The best tips are still ahead. Let's talk safety. Fast. Let's talk about safety, because a powerful tool requires responsible use. The biggest fear people have is microwaves leaking out. Modern microwaves have multiple safety features. The metal mesh in the door acts like a cage, keeping waves inside. Microwaves also have at least 2, sometimes 3, Interlock switches. If the door opens even slightly, the switches cut power to the magnetron. That stops microwave production instantly. Never tamper with door latches or run the oven with the door ajar. Another crucial rule: watch what you put inside. No metal. Visual. Do not microwave symbol over a drawing of a metal fork, aluminum foil, and a non-microwave safe plastic container. Metal reflects microwaves. A smooth metal bowl will reflect energy and prevent heating. Thin metal like aluminum foil can act like an antenna. Sharp metal like a fork concentrates energy and causes arcing. Sparks can fly. Arcing. Sparks can damage the oven or, in rare cases, cause a fire. Use containers labeled microwave safe. Glass, ceramic, certain plastics. Microwave safe. Myth: microwaving makes food radioactive. False. Microwaves are non-ionizing. They make molecules vibrate but don't change atoms. When the microwave is off, the waves are gone. Food is not radioactive. Myth: microwaving destroys all nutrients. Cooking reduces some heat-sensitive nutrients like vitamin C. Microwaving is fast and uses less water, so it can preserve nutrients better than boiling or long baking. Final note: superheating. Very clean water in a very smooth cup can be heated past boiling without bubbling. The water is unstable. A slight disturbance can make it erupt. Adding a tea bag. Moving the cup. To avoid it, use a cup with a slight scratch, or place a wooden chopstick or a skewer in the water while heating. That gives a safe nucleation site for bubbles and prevents eruptions. You've made it through the science. Now you're armed with the knowledge to become a true microwave maestro. Let's summarize and turn it into actionable advice you can use today. Understanding your microwave unlocks its full potential. Your food will taste better. It will cook more evenly, and you'll have the confidence of a seasoned kitchen pro. First, always cover your food. Use a microwave-safe lid, or use a paper towel. Covering traps steam and keeps food moist. Leave a small vent so pressure doesn't build. Second, embrace the stir and stand method. Stir halfway through cooking. When the timer beeps, let food stand for a minute or two. Arrange food wisely. Thicker portions toward the outside of the plate, thinner parts toward the middle. For multiple items like potatoes, arrange in a circle with space between them. Use the power level settings. For dense foods, like a thick stew, use 50% power. For defrosting meat, use 30 to 50%. High power is great for high water foods like soup. Lower power gives you more control. Now you know how it works, from the magnetron's hum to the molecular mosh pit in your food. You know how to use it safely and work around quirks to get fantastic results. If this helped, like, subscribe, and share. Stay curious and happy cooking.